Hi, I'm Darrell Youngquest, bulb buyer for English Gardens, and it's fall. So it's time to plant bulbs if you want spring color like tulips and daffodils. We're going to do it in a container, but it's the same way you would do it in the ground. So we start with the soil. We're going to put a little layer of soil into our container, level it out, get a little bit of bulb tone, sprinkle some in the base. And then we're going to set our bulbs in there. And bulbs, you do want to put it where it's the pointed end up and the root side down, but you know what, it's like a seed, so if you get it wrong, the plant will still grow up to the sunlight. So we start with our tulips, and we're going to put those arranged in the bottom. I'm just going to kind of dump them out and then arrange them in the pot, spacing them out so they come out in a nice beautiful bouquet. We are going to do this in a layered effect, or some people call it lasagna, because it comes in layers. So smaller bulbs will be up a little higher, and they'll come in a different time. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit more soil in here. And the fun fact is we're going to take this and force it to bloom later, and we'll update you guys on the progress of how it comes out. So we got a little bit of layer. I'm going to put a little bit more bulb tone, sprinkle it around. Bulbs are pretty heavy feeders, so it's always good to do that when you plant them. So we're going to arrange our hyacinths kind of in between the tulips so they're not fighting, but you know, like I said, you can plant it sideways. The bulbs will find their way through. Even if there's another bulb sitting right on top of it, it will still find its way through. So we're also going to put some daffodils or narcissus in between the hyacinths, because we won't have enough room in this container to keep adding soil on top of soil. So we're going to put it around, and there'll be a beautiful bouquet when it comes out. I'm going to put a little bit more soil in there. Just a little bit more bulb tone. And if we were doing this in the ground, if you're anything like me, you've got squirrels and chipmunks around, they love to dig up bulbs. So we've got this Neptune's Harvest crab shells. They're very sharp edges. You sprinkle that around the top of the bulbs. They don't like to dig that up. It deters them from digging up your bulbs. So now we've got some hyacinths that we're going to fill in here. These are like the grape hyacinth or muscari. So they're smaller bulbs, so we can kind of just make sure that they're evenly distributed. And then some crocus. We're going to mix those in, making sure that they're mixed up really nicely, so that way it's not clusters and it comes up all throughout the whole pot. So I think we've got it arranged pretty good. Now we're just going to top dress it with a little bit of soil. There, we've got a nice full container. We're going to give it some water, and then we're going to put it in a refrigerator because the bulbs need to chill, and that's what happens when you plant them in the ground in the fall. They get cold through the winter time, and then when it starts to warm up, they wake up and they look beautiful for you. So that's what we're going to do with this pot. We have a wonderful selection of English Gardens, just tons and tons of bulbs, all different types that come up in the springtime through late spring to early summer. Stop by one of our stores for our selection and try this at home.